good to see you, everybody. Hope you're having a good time, especially with the family day weekend. Alright, folks, this is kind of hilarious, but look what happened when I was getting my tickets. Oh, what's this? Now, hopefully in this video, I'll be able to put a little bit of a timestamp. Hopefully that timestamp will give you a little bit of an insight of what questions you're pretty much looking forward to answer. Now, I'll try my best to answer it. Sorry if it's not straightforward at times because it's a little bit of a backstory in order to explain the whole entire thing. Like, how do you know generally like what prizes they give out and everything else like that? If you have any other questions, just leave a comment below. Hopefully I'll get back to you and all right, everyone, keep it rocking. Woo!
It's over 9,000!
I could have gotten a little bit of a higher score, but I'll definitely take the jackpot because double invader bonus. Know your games for 250 tickets. If you're really good at basketball, and I especially see people doing like shooting hoops back to back, this one here is doable. It's not too bad. The jackpot used to be 100 tickets if you win it. Now they bumped it up to 250, so it's a bit more. Before it used to be 100. See how this one over here, if it's Skee-Ball, 250 tickets. The cost is pretty much, I'm not sure if it's saying. Yes, it is. So if you're better at basketball,
oh yeah, I am you.
Pretty much guarantee you're winning from that. I recommend the basketball game as opposed to Skee-Ball if you have no clue how it works. So. And nothing pretty much new with these prizes over here. Alright, there we go with the prizes. Prizes over here, so I was very thankful for the game technicians, especially the manager Chris, for definitely lending this stuff out for me. So yeah, I earned it with my tickets and I wanted to say thank you so much. I don't like showing this sort of stuff out, honestly, but just super happy. And this is the prizes you can get at the Great Canadian Midway. They have a lot of people asking me about where you get this and all this stuff. They have some nice secret prizes over here, so. Alright, so one of the funny things about coin pushers that I've been asked about rapid fire. When is rapid fire considered good? Funny enough, I found a rapid fire button over here. Rapid fire is pretty much pressing the button as many times as you can, firing the coins all at once as opposed to like playing the game just one coin at a time. So whenever you're pretty much at a coin pusher, from my experience, let's just say that you're looking throughout the board over here. There's a huge bunch of cards like stacked on top of each other, and it's really hard to knock this over. I pretty much call it webbing. You can define it as a different terminology, but yeah, this is basically the cards are pretty much on top of each other, spread out, but it's so spread wide that even if the coins try to push it, it usually slides underneath as opposed to actually pushing the whole entire pile together. Rapid fire to me, I feel, is more of a situational thing, and what I like about the rapid fire in this kind of scenario is that what happens is you try to build like a mound of coins, you know, a little bit of a pile, and then you'll have the pusher push that little pile closer towards what is pretty much heavier over here because these cards stack up on top of each other, you know. That's when rapid fire becomes more effective because the pile that you build is a little bit more thicker than just a single coin going through by itself, and the general idea is to hopefully push it much faster when you're doing the rapid fire method that way. What not many people realize is that there's a little metal edge over here that kind of lifts upwards in a slant. It's angled against the direction where the pusher pretty much pushes the coin. So for example, let's just say that the pusher is pushing the coin in this direction over here. Because there's a little angle slanted upwards, so this edge is not really flat, it's more slanted upwards against the coin pusher itself. So that's the reason why whenever somebody's playing a couple coins over here, you know, 5 or 10 of them, and nothing seems to be really pushing much, that's because of this slight little edge over here that's slanted upwards in an angle. It makes it look very deceptive in a way.
At least it wasn't my blue-eyed white dragon.
I'll get you, my pretty, and your little dog too.
But yeah, so in that case, if you're gonna be doing the 1x1 method and these are pretty much stacked up on top of each other, kind of like Willy Wonka in a way, rapid fire seems to be the way to go, but it's not always the most effective way to push these cards down towards the edge. It's a little bit of a risky thing because it also is quite expensive to pull off. Unless you're pretty much having fun and you don't really care much about the money. This pretty much applies to any coin pusher in general, as long as they pretty much follow the same foundation and the rules. But yeah, see, it pales in comparison to Nerf Arcade. Alright everybody, video recap. So basically, a lot of people will still be asking that fundamental question. It's like, which arcade game still pretty much pays the most of optimal amount of tickets and everything else like that? But honestly, I can't really give you a straightforward answer because each arcade is different and every game that you play gives a little different jackpot payout. Now what I can say in particular is, if you happen to be really good at a specific game and you consistently can win that game, you know, the jackpot back to back, definitely go for that one. So I'll bring up one example, Canada's largest arcade. One of the examples is pretty much Quick Drop. Quick Drop is an amazing game and the maximum jackpot that it can actually reach is up to 500 tickets. Now there's another arcade called Adventure City, which is nearby here in the Niagara region. The same Quick Drop game. That game in particular pays 1,000 tickets instead. So each game pretty much varies in terms of how much the maximum jackpot is, but also you have to put into consideration the cost of the game itself, not only just the maximum jackpot that it pays out as well, but also the prizes that are inside the arcade too, because let's just face it, if you happen to go to the arcade and you're winning a lot of tickets, but the prizes there are like not as reasonable, then you're like, is this the arcade prize something for me? So put that into consideration as well. Just wanted to say, keep it rocking. Woo! Now, while I'm pretty much at the arcade, there was another question that somebody did ask, and now I thought about it on the top of my head. Generally, I would spend between, you know, $200 to $400, maybe a little bit over $450 in order to acquire that amount of tickets. Now, that's the reason why if I was really patient and I knew which games were pretty much paying out a jackpot, I'd be hopping into those jackpots right away and, you know, just taking my time playing the games in order to get it. Well, because I'm pretty much a local here, I come down to this arcade frequently. If I kind of want to optimize my chances of winning a lot of jackpots without spending too much, sometimes I have to recognize that basically these jackpots take a while for it to grow. But if you're one of those people who has a lot of patience and you come down here, you know, several hours later and you're like, oh, okay, the jackpot over here is not 353 anymore. It's built up to 500 and then you start playing knowing that you can definitely get those tickets. That's more of the optimal way of cashing in as many jackpots as you can without having to spend basically more than an arm and a leg. Oh, here we are at the arcade. Canada's largest arcade, the Great Canadian Midway. And one of the things that comes with the territory, unfortunately, is which games are more expensive to play. So for this example, Monster Drop Extreme does cost a little bit more. But one of the only other games pretty much that's a little bit more expensive now that the card system has taken over is this game over here, Zombie Snatcher. So if you played this twice, basically, and do your usual thing, back before this was a card system, if you put just the tokens in, you would have been able to play 3 times instead of 2. So you get an extra gameplay on top of that. That's how much more expensive that pretty much gotten. So yeah, that's one of the only other games that kind of got more expensive. So instead of your usual 3 gameplays, you're pretty much reduced down to 2. Zombie Snatcher, a little bit more expensive to play for this kind of game. Alright, so if this is not your local arcade, Canada's largest arcade, the Great Canadian Midway, don't worry about this part. So basically, people have been asking me, which games are cheaper to play ever since they introduced the new card system? Most of the coin pusher games are now more valuable. So basically before, this used to be 25 tickets if you hand down a card to one of the people who works over here. It has basically doubled. So even if you collect the whole thing, it's still 1,000 tickets. But right now, it's almost half as much to pretty much play the same game with the same amount of gameplays. But the tickets itself, if you get the card over here, has doubled. So this one over here, coin pushers in general are cheaper and it pays out more. And that's one of the newest things here at the Great Canadian Midway. Oh yeah, after today, pretty much the launch of the Family Day long weekend. So I love how it's not as busy right now at the moment. But yes, this is what I love about doing the arcade tour, is that I love to share my adventures with you. So yeah. yeah, I would say bon appetit, right? Oh, they don't have the Nintendo Switch over there anymore. I think they might have moved that downstairs, but yeah, awesome sauce. Oh, here we are at the arcade. Canada's largest arcade, the Great Canadian Midway. Nothing too fancy, but you know, the usual drill, the usual. Some people are asking me, is this Crossing Road over here, right next to Kung Fu Panda, worth it? But
Nope.
honestly, because the RNG is just crazy, I'd rather recommend the one upstairs. It gives you a lot more tickets. This one over here, for about the same amount of credits, I'd rather pick the one upstairs. And although I don't mind the concept of Pink Panther, this Pink Panther game unfortunately is rigged in a way where even if you're pretty skilled at this game itself, it's got great reaction time, then you know pretty much where to go. Even then, it still only will pay you out according to like the stage itself. It's a little bit of RNG for sure. So I would actually avoid this one here over here. There you go. See how that one there? Well, there you go. Knowing your game. It's not that hard. I'd say even after all this time, look at this. Look at this. Still nobody got breakout. Corner pushes. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Oh! Oh, we just need 10. We just need 10. Come on, come on. I don't know. Oh, we just need 10 to get the jackpot. Oh! There we go. Look at this. Woo! Let's go, Sugar Tea. Go. Oh my goodness. And whenever you get a jackpot and get some free plays, because this is getting you free plays as well. Thank you. You gotta look at the health of the board as well. So I'm also looking at if there's any 100s or 50s that you can knock down later with the free play. And if you can keep doing this, it's really worth it. So I don't know if I can knock the 100 there, but I'm already happy with getting a jackpot. So thanks everybody. Woo! So I got some really interesting requests from people going like, what's considered a good run for you, Sweetie Lorelai? You know, how much money do you spend to win that many tickets? So a few of you have been requesting for me to do kind of like a $20, and I pretty much came up with the $50 challenge now. I don't really have to raise the bar that high because I'm kind of curious myself. I usually get maybe $20 worth of tokens and no more, no less, maybe sometimes less depending on, you know, how pretty much how I feel about the jackpots being paid out. So I'm curious myself now that everything's in the card and know exactly how many tickets I won, how many credits I played and everything else like that. So it's gonna be really interesting to have the actual numbers instead of just going like, oh, 1,000 tickets there, 1,000 tickets here and there kind of thing. Because on a really good run, even with $20 beforehand, I win between 7,000 to 10,000 tickets. 10,000 being a really, really good run. I don't always get 10,000 tickets like that, but if I do, oh my goodness. So just want to say you people are amazing. Somebody bring out the cat. Meow! The cat is in the bag, my friends. The cat is in the bag. Oh, thank you so much, everybody.